Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGFC Big East Invitational. Once again, Squid here with Mick Cornmeal. We have our next match up, third to last of the day. Marquette versus St. John's. Marquette looking to get a playoff spot in St. John's with the chance to play spoiler here. And oh my goodness, all right.
Not again, dude.
Why does it always happen? Nito killing right off the bat with a nice aerial goal over top of baseball. And my god, that can be very difficult to defend.
Well, anyways, St. John's coming into this one. I believe they are completely defeated. No wins in their column yet. Trying to do whatever they can to make something work. And another shot goes in for Ops. A double commit, both missing on that shot. And, well, 2-0 up for the side of Marquette already. 12 seconds off the clock. But just in case you're wondering, for any reason whatsoever, if you didn't know yet, Marquette is in the orange, and St. John's is in the blue.
And JFG, a nice read off that back wall there. But brilliant way to start out if you're Marquette here. Another shot on target, just actually a little bit wide. But things really trying to strike the iron while it's hot, I suppose. Trying to use some of that momentum they had from Game 3 of the last series. Ops going to score this one, assisted by JFG.
Oh, another one does fall through. Ops, of course, is going to be there playing with JFG. Those two have been what some would call a dynamic duo here inside of the last couple games. And even though they did fall to Villanova last game, they were still playing well, and they continue to play well here. But 3 goals already in the first 30 seconds of the game. Well, we saw this happen last time, and that was against Villanova in Game 3. And, well, they won that last time, but Prime will finally get to be able to fly through and find one. That's going to be a goal for St. John, something that is a nice sight if you're a St. John's fan or a player.
Nice angle out of the corner, over top the last man. And I mean, that's all you really have to say about it. It was a nice shot. 4 minutes 23 on the clock, though, and the story is certainly not over yet. 2 goal deficit, plenty doable for regulation of Rocket League.
Indeed. Nito up on top. He's actually going to back pass that to what it seems to Ops. Ops is just going to play that off a weird touch. Primal's there for it. Baseball making a shot, but Ops once again able to make the stop. Up and over Justin. JFG trying to be there for it. Can't find it. But Nito actually going to whiff it a little bit on the ground. And that's going to allow Justin and Ops to go ahead and have a little fight match over it. But Ops is up. Will he find the save? Primal's going to be able to take it down to the bottom left of the goal. And now Justin should be able to clear it back to the left side and the other way.
That might actually be the best clear opportunity that he had there. There was a Marquette player waiting over there on the left side, so touching it down up off the post might have been the optimal play. Get that ball away, but still plenty of time. St. John's just need to push out here. Trying to do so. Nito's up in the air, gets that first touch, looking for a second one perhaps. No, leaves it for Ops off the back wall. This could be dangerous, but JFG doesn't have the angle. Good philosophy, but no execution for Marquette.
Still excellent gameplay towards middle map for the side of Villanova. They've been able to control the game, control the map through that middle map area, and of course it has allowed them to be in the position they are now, up 3-1, with always an ever-increasing pressure on the offensive side of things. Justin's knock, almost actually wasn't able to get that, but he does get it. So will be a back pass out to middle once again. Nito is there, and finally a little bit of a clear able for the side of St. John, but as I say that, back the other way, top right corner won't fall.
We approach the half, it's pretty obvious. Marquette keeping up with all this pressure, but St. John's defense is holding strong presently. Not letting in any extra goals as is right now. 50-50 could have gone a lot better for Primal, but still playable here for Justin. Kappa Pi gets an extra one. JFG, the only one back, doesn't have the touch. There one moves out in front, but Ops is quick on the third man rotation, gets it away.
Quick on his tires, spinning them fast, flying up in the air, watch him go. He continues to be the man who always is playing towards that backside on Villanova, on Marquette. Every single time they need a save, every single time they need someone to rotate in an emergency, it has been Ops. Ops has been the one who continues to be the defensive savior for the side of Marquette. I was about to say JFG like they were the school.
Things getting a little bit confusing after, you know, we've been on for a while now. It's been a long day of Rocket League. So
about 6-7 hours almost, something like that. Cast your math, though. You know, don't trust me.
So it's probably more like 2 hours, and we just don't know how to count. So in any case, Game continues to roll on. St. John's on the defense presently. Doing a pretty good job of making plays here before. Primal, great cutoff. Not letting that ceiling shot come through. Bit of a double commit out of the corner. This could be an open net opportunity. Arc towards the net. Baseball receding from Justin. It's a 1-goal game.
Well, you saw after that goal, he just kind of sat there and drifted across the pitch. That was actually pretty cool. I don't know if it'll show it right here or not, but looked pretty cool. Yeah, he just drifted to a stop like that. That looked pretty bad. But you know what? Neither here nor there with that. Either way, trying to bring this one back. It is going to be St. John's now, only down by a goal, but Marquette, they need this. I'm pretty sure St. John's is pretty much out of this no matter which way you look at it. Marquette, if they lose this one, it could be very, very telling and extremely detrimental to their playoff push. Will it happen? I don't know. But right now, it's only a 1-goal differential to Paul. I don't know if you guys remember from watching the stream or not, but when they played them, it wasn't pretty.
Certainly was not. Marquette just narrowly denied. They have to play back into their own half here. JFG. Baseball taken away from him. Ops. Now bombs this one downfield. JFG for the extra touch. Trying to move it back in towards center. Baseball with the clear out. And Justin picking up control. Not bad team plays here from St. John's onto the back wall. Coming down and in. Baseball once again to the backboard. Trying to get anything set up for his team. Great read by Primal. Off the backboard once again, but nobody close enough to make a play on that. St. John's closing the gap ever so slowly on this. They're going to have to execute quickly here. Final 10 seconds coming up. Back on their own end. Finally gain possession. High in the air. Justin with a couple of options. Primal actually gets up for that one. A bit of a double commit, and Marquette has no trouble killing that one to take game 1.
Double G's in the chat for the boys in orange. Marquette take game number 1 over St. John's by a 3-2 margin. It got close at the end, but Marquette came out of the gates extremely fast. They got hot at the beginning. Played a little bit more passive towards the end. Weren't able to get anything going so much on the offense as they were able to get a couple saves here and there. But again, we just look at the shots. 12-2, but still only winning by 1 goal. Not able to convert as much as the St. John's team were on that offensive side.
And this might bode well for St. John's moving forward here. Potential to take up game number 2. At the very least, seems that they were in this game. Like I said, their defense was holding relatively strong with 6 saves spread out across their 3 players. Their offense wasn't that bad either. When they had the chance to move down there, it seemed like they actually had a decent presence. So Marquette might actually have to be careful here, because they did manage to take that game 1. But there's still a very real present threat in the St. John's roster here.
Well, getting ready to kick off game number 2. St. John's need to bring this one back, or else they risk going down 2-0 and further putting themselves in that hole that they already have dug pretty deep. It's about, I don't know if you guys remember that movie Holes or the book Holes, but seems like that's what St. John is trying to reenact here on the pitch. Hopefully they can go ahead and turn this one around, though. It'd be a sight to see indeed, but so far it has been the side of Marquette trying to play aggressive here at the beginning of the game, but this is the first time we haven't seen Marquette interrupt the intro to into a game.
Surprisingly enough, and JFG almost did have a double tap opportunity early on. I'm sure you saw that. McLaren Mill did not convert on it, but still there. Now Primal off the back wall. Quick opportunity there for St. John's. Does get cleared out to the side. This ball trying to return this one in towards center. Ops has control up high. Will bomb that one far and away. The midfield line. Primal going to slow it down, but cannot gain possession for his team. Rather slow start to a match here. St. John's and Marquette both giving each other due respect.
Ops going to take this up the right wall. Nito in the backside, waiting for the midfield pass and clear to go ahead and fall into his hands. Now on the ready and back charging, but it is going to be Ops now having to clear it from the high side off that back wall. Back over towards the blue half, but we talk about a back and forth action going on between these two teams, neither getting a very solid offensive try, but now St. John's have pushed up fully into the orange half. Can they make something work with it, or will it be more of the same and a clear back out towards the blue half?
About a minute and a half gone now as well, and really either team struggling to find a significant offensive presence here. This moves towards the blue net. Great 50-50 by Nito. It pops straight up, almost gets the shot on target, not quite. JFG for the follow, goes onto the back wall, but nobody stayed in the zone. And Ops will have to play it into his own backfield here. Justin continues to push that one forward. No touch there from Nito. Baseball can't get the win on the challenge, though, and then we'll go neutral again. The midfield has really been one of the more frequented points of the entire pitch for both these teams so far here in game number 2. 3 minutes now remain, and still scoreless.
Well, either way you look at it, both teams are rotating extremely well right now. They're not leaving their teammates on an island, not leaving them out to dry. They're getting good, solid touches no matter where they are on the pitch at all times. Even if it's a hairy one here and there, they're still making the plays when they need to, each team converting in each necessary way. But that one's going to be a double commit, not going to be able to find the touch on either one. And again, the caster's curse holds true, holds strong as Ops puts one in and brings Marquette up 1-0 here inside of game number 2. Up 1-0 inside the series as well.
It actually looked like JFG got bumped by an opposing player into that passing play, so I guess, you take them if you can get them, if you are Marquette, but goal's an unfortunate situation. At the very least, JFG now carrying over top of 1, over top of 2. Nicely done. Air drag to earn that second goal of the game.
A nice ground to air dribble there for JFG, and he brings that one up and over. Baseball tries to come out of nowhere to stop it, but isn't able to get it up to the crossbar in time. Puts it in, helps JFG out, and gives them the goal. That's going to be 2-0 for the side of Marquette as they continue to have their reign of dominance inside of the series.
But still is only at the half. Still a lot of time on the board here. Of course, St. John's put up 2 goals. We saw him do it last game. Might be able to do it again. JFG launches that one up high, but Primal on that bouncer does get by 1. Touch from baseball, but Ops is there on the ground ready for it. St. John's looking to try and possess here. Shot towards the net by Justin and accidentally almost redirected in. That was a close call, but Nito does manage to control it away and might actually turn that into a goal. No. Primal will stop that out before it can get close to the goal line. St. John's still remains scoreless here inside of 2 minutes.
Ops opting to play that shadow defense tactic over towards his backside, something we'll see a lot of players opt to do for the majority of the time when they're playing defense in a 2-on-1 or a 1-on-1 situation. A shot from JFG doesn't fall, but now a touch in towards middle map. It is going to be the side of St. John's taking it towards Marquette's half. But again, the clear does come through. JFG is there, and it is going to be Primal who tries to stop the ball for just a tad. A missed touch off that left side wall, but Nito is going to be one there to touch it again. A bump in towards middle, not going to happen though. Ops now Nito once again for the try, and it's going to be a score from Nito. A beautiful play from all of the side of Marquette as they bump, steal, and convert on another lovely goal to make it 3-0.
And they are really just doing it all over for Marquette. They have no trouble turning it in after such a well-executed play. You can't really blame St. John for not being there to defend that one. They had so many obligations they were trying to take care of at the time, avoiding bumps, trying to secure their boost in the corner. And that's a rotation. It can be very difficult to maintain with all those factors on the line. Now with only 1 minute remaining. Looks rather secure here for Marquette in game number 2. Obviously, we have seen some pretty substantial comebacks in the past, but I just am not certain about this one. I'm certainly not anymore. A nice pass from JFG to Nito. Seems like it might be the last play of the game.
Well, the key word again there, it's going to be but. It's always a but when we have those types of sentences that we need to convey out to all the viewers and such, but right there, again, you see it. A beautiful goal once again, 4-0, 47 seconds left. Marquette has shown all the signs of aggression in this game. St. John's just have not been able to convert on the offensive side. And again, 4 goals in this amount of time when you have no offensive pressure the entire game. It's going to be hard just to flick, snap your fingers and turn it around in a lickety-split fashion.
Absolutely. 25 seconds now, and it seems we might just be ticking down the seconds up until game number 3. And Marquette got to be feeling pretty confident about their chances here. Oh, with this 4-0 score line. They only did win by 1 goal in the last game, though, so they can't necessarily just have their hiatus right now in preparation for their next game. It's not necessarily going to be the good strategy. JFG going to put an extra one on the board, assisted by Nito. That looks like it's going to be the end of the game after that, but let's see if they can push forward with this momentum in the next game. The answer, most likely, but again, St. John's, they kept it a 1-goal game in the first one, so I would not be surprised if we had to go to game 4.
It's all about momentum. Say it every game. Like, oh, this team has some momentum. Oh, this team is hot right now. It's all about momentum. No matter what game you're playing, no matter what you're doing in life, everything is going to be about your momentum. If you got the high side, if you're taking the good spirits, the good vibes into the next game, you're most likely going to play well. If not, well, it's just unfortunate. So.
And it actually sounds like St. John's is making a substitution. So that's going to be an interesting development. We'll see if that can change much. This 5-0 scoreline for Marquette either way. It seems like they're going to be pretty confident in their abilities moving into the next game. Once again, they are currently sitting at 2-3, so a win here will put them back into the running for that number 2 playoff spot. I'm not exactly sure. I think that Xavier is most likely playing their next matches, and I'm actually looking. They did get a result against DePaul. They did lose the series, but it was a 2-3 series. And this is the Xavier school that we saw earlier, and we were asking, we know these players are talented. Why do they keep having these like simple mistakes? It seems that they may have improved a little bit since then, because going 2-3 against DePaul has doubled the number of games lost that DePaul has.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, one thing I will say here, this substitution for the side of St. John, although it could be needed, and it probably is needed after what has been happening in the last couple games, I will say this. They are already out of the running for contention. Right now, it's just going to be a matter of, can they find themselves in these next couple of games with that new player? Can they find that chemistry? Can they be better than they already were? And if they can, then that's great. If they can't, then, you know, you've already got knocked out of playoff contention at this point. Again, like I said, it's just finding yourself, right?
Yeah. And for, as you mentioned, I mean, they're just trying to play spoiler at this point. So for this Marquette squad in particular, you know, they're trying to go up to 3-3. If St. John's were to win this, they would most likely take Marquette out of contention for that top 2 spots. So it would be, it would be something you could say. You can walk away with that. So they still have a very real influence on this tournament, and it looks like Arcamp will be the sub for St. John's. Getting into game number 3 right now, Justin, Arcamp, and Primal will be the lineup for SJU. Let's get into this.
On the left side for St. John, it will be blue. And on the right side in orange, it will be Marquette. Marquette up 2-0. They need to win one more game here in order to take this series in a 3-0 fashion and go back to a 500 record at 3-3 and stay in contention for that top 2 playoff spot for tomorrow's, or whenever, is single elimination bracket.
Right off the bat here, we did see St. John's initially on the offensive side, but that's quickly changed since. Off the back wall. Arcamp now moving his one in towards center. He lobs it towards the net. A close call there, but Offset is able to get it away. Tries to move it downfield. Going to take a speculative shot on net, but not going to happen. Primal is well set for that save. Jump up out of the corner. Justin going to reset it in. Ops off the back wall now. Could turn dangerous, but a nice save. Primal has no read against Nito all day. About a minute's come and gone now, and either side has a shot on target. 2 from Marquette, and that might be 2. Arcamp puts that one in. Off the backboard, Reed receiving from Primal, just over a minute gone.
Arcamp's new car, although it's a little flashy, I gotta say I'm enjoying it. I like the little sombrero that he's got on it. His tires, I haven't seen those before, and of course, that car, he's using the same one as Ops is using with that decal, but, you know, cars really don't matter. But I will say one thing right now, St. John finally have a little bit of momentum scoring here first in this game. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out as Marquette really needs this win, but another shot does go in for JFG. They tie it up one apiece almost instantaneously. Anything you can do, well, Marquette's trying to say that they can do better.
A nice touch out to the right side as well. Making that read off the side wall, and you could see, I believe, it was Justin who tossed it off to the side initially, and he had to get it away from a Marquette attacker. It was unfortunate that it went directly into the hands of another Marquette attacker after the fact. And JFG with another shot is actually going to sneak that one on the left side in 2 in a row.
Absolutely beautiful. A great pass there from Nito. JFG put it just in that left corner to where Justin wasn't able to get across the net in time. we're talking about, we were talking about car control earlier. That is the epiphany of car control right there. That was beautiful. There is nothing better than having a shot to where you can control that ball and place it perfectly where it needs to go. Great goal there from JFG, and of course, another beautiful play from the side of Marquette as they try to go ahead and take a lead in the advantage and the series here away from the side of St. John.
St. John not done yet though. This was Arcan trying to lead the way and actually manages to push it through off the crossbar and the post inside the net.
Well, that substitution is paying dividends right now for the side of St. John as he's got the 2 goals that the side of St. John's have in this game, tied 2 apiece. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left. This looks like a different St. John's team. They look confident now, opposed to, you know, making a little bit more reserved plays in the last few games. Very interesting to see. Very exciting to watch.
You're correct on both fronts there. St. John's now, I want to see if they can move this forward and convert it into a game win here, where they need it the most in this series. Under 3 minutes to play now. One of these teams will have to stand out on top after regulation, but there might be some overtime involved along with it. With a wayward touch there by Primal. Arcamp gonna put it back into the zone. Primal can't get up to that one though. A little bit out of his reach. JFG to the back wall. Just a slight touch from the defender will get it far enough away to stall the offense for just a moment. Past the half now. Still tied at 2. Marquette looking to take control downfield.
Arcamp, a missed touch there could be very detrimental to the team, and it will be. He missed that touch off the wall. It allowed for them to push up in towards the side. You see Ops there able to get that one on that left side. It allows them to push that ball right in front of the goal. And some missed opportunities for some saves is going to allow Ops and JFG to kind of work together in tandem and put that one in. Another little handoff there. Maybe a little bit of a goal steal. I don't know if Ops is going to be mad about that one or if JFG is just kind of laughing to himself right now. But either way, they're up 3-2. Not 2-3, 3-2 here inside of game number 3. And of course, now it is match point still, folks. So if the side of St. John do lose this, they will, of course, be going on to the next one with a nice broomstick in their hands.
2 minutes now on the clock as well. Things looking ever more dire. But the game's not quite over yet. They have been in this spot before. They were unable to bring it back in that situation. JFG off the sideball, off the back is a third touch, but it's a little bit too quick for anybody on the Marquette side to respond. And Nito will have an open shot here. Ops earning a playmaker medal and getting insurance relatively late in the game here.
If that ball didn't pinch off the wall like that, that would have been a 360 goal for JFG. Not only would he have hit it, but he like his car just did a complete 360. The front end of that thing just pinched it off the wall ever so gently. It forced it out to that left side of the orange net, or sorry, of the blue net. But still, great pass from Nito and Ops there. Great plays as well to put that one in. Now 4-2. This one could be even further out of reach, and it is even further out of reach. It's just a matter of time before St. John either make a goal, make a shot, or roll over like a man on the moon.
Only 75 seconds now to make something happen. Entering dangerous waters here, JFG. Gonna hit that one into Justin, who earns the savior medal for his team. The defense won't win them the game at this point. 1 minute buzzer now going off. And Marquette looking at a series win here. If they can just hold on to these 2 goals, which they haven't really had to play too much defense in the last while. They might get another one. Ops almost putting that one through, but it's off the crossbar and away. Either way, still significant, much more, bit more pressure just to be applied from the Marquette end of things. This one's gonna cross the net. Primal almost has the dunk, but can't put it away. A goal that St. John's desperately needs. Justin can't get that one to a teammate in center. Nito pass up to JFG, almost gets the redirect. Nito gonna try anyways. Justin does block it off. Still life here for St. John's, but they need a goal right away. Justin going to inherit the ball taken away by JFG almost immediately. Gonna come off the sideball and waste so much time with that touch. Off's going to try and touch it into the corner, once again wasting so much time off the clock, a preciously little resource. And it looks like St. John's will fall here to Marquette in 3 games, unfortunately.
One thing I want to say before we do go to our next game and potentially the break here is I just want to talk about Rocket League as an esport in general real quick, right? You have players that play FPS titles. You have players that play sports games. You have players that play all types of games. Rocket League is so inherently different than any other esport, and I think, in my own personal opinion, that it might have the biggest and best skill gap inside of any competitive title. You look at any FPS game, sure, there's a good amount of skill to it, but there is nothing like the skill needed for Rocket League. This is a very, very niche game, and it allows for these teams, allows for these competitors to be at the top of their game and have people marvel at what they're doing. Obviously, people will still marvel at FPS games, but if you see someone such as JFG making one of these reverse shots like he did over middle map in the background right there, there's nothing better as a spectator to see these guys play this game at such a high level because of how good and how masterful they are at this game. Like I said, if you're a new player or you're even at a diamond, champ level even, you're looking at these guys and you're going, damn, I want to be exactly like them. I want to be able to make the same plays that they're making because these guys are incredible at what they do. It's as simple as that.
Well, well said. I mean, I couldn't agree more with you on that point. I mean, I've been around the scene for some time now, and yeah, it's incredible to watch and, give credit to just about, every single play that we can see. But we are going to have to move on to our next match. Before we do so, we're going to take a short break. St. John's going to be playing off against Xavier Esports right around the break for our second to last match.